matchup.
Yeah, she's incredibly explosive. As long as she's got the right hands. Just looking at Setsuki again, she's got that queen. See, she's going to start it third time in a row. And he's
Ooh, and
actually
he's doing the
taunting
mind
Blinky.
games.
Yeah, he's taunting him with the chat, saying, "Will I queen again?" I think he will, actually.
Hard to say. I don't know. This is where when people chat at me, I just get so confused. Blinky didn't seem to be too much affected by it. He just played something. But this is where I just go into the tank and then make the wrong decision.
And he should have. He should have queen because he would have won there.
Yep.
And he probably would have dumped his entire hand as well. Instead, gets a nice straight combo and retrieves one of those aces, which he needs. The earlier Arg can get his ace, the better.
That's why it was such an easy decision for him, because you see the straight and you just autoplay. It makes everything easier even when it's not.
Yeah, he had to go for it. And he actually had another option anyway. If he failed with that 2, he could have started off with 3 and gone 3, 4, 5.
So now, Fivec has sort of revealed that he's got a queen in his hand, but Blinky ignored it, which is interesting.
And he's going with that risky 7 throw as well, which I think it's pretty unsafe, actually.
Well, he saw the 9 throw, so he knows it's the fastest throw possible, but when you see a 9 throw, usually they don't throw again after that, unless it's you, in which case you do.
Yeah, I do silly things like little mind game footsies or whatever. I do like 9 throw and then 7 throw. Or I'll block with Setsuki and then dodge next turn. Just like
right.
Doing silly things like that actually prey on the smart people.
So yeah, I don't know. Against Fivec, I don't think I would have thrown there, because just the chance that he's going to throw is pretty low. But he's paying for his mistake now, because he just ate an ace-ace combo. Oh, and he just ate a queen.
Unfortunately, he hasn't got the hand to back that queen up, which is it's almost a bit of a waste and a shame, really. But it's how he's got to play the game, really.
Yeah, he gets another hand at least.
This is not a good hand for Setsuki at all. He's got 2 6s, 2 3s, and an 8. There's no way of dumping it completely. He's probably, if he pumps into powers into ace-ace, then he's got an obvious hand.
I think he should power into ace-ace no matter what, and just use the card you draw.
Yeah, just to purely get rid of it.
But he doesn't want to reveal his options are so bad.
So yeah,
and now he can dump his hand if he plays a 6.
Yeah, I'd do 6 Jack 6 for lots of damage and then just pump that 3, or even just.
Oh, he's got an ace in the discard, so it's yeah. I don't know. I would have pumped with ace-ace, and then whatever your top card is, you either dodge or you throw or you jack.
Yeah. Jack ace-ace would have been quite good actually. And he's gone for that rare Setsuki block there.
Because his dodge options are just so bad.
And now he decides to pump it up.
And I think that's the correct decision. And then your play should probably be dictated mainly on what you draw. So he drew a 4, so I would just dodge.
See, I would actually jack here, because if you dodge, you can't dump your entire hand.
Yeah, actually, it's close. We'll see what he does.
I think for most people watching, the obvious move is the jack 4 ace-ace, or yeah, I think that's it really.
Wheezy is saying crazy things. I actually agree with throwing with the 7, but Wheezy says that you should use the 7 for the ability, which seems crazy to me.
Wait, so see, Wheezy thinks you should use Bag of Tricks, or Protective Ward, is it?
Yeah, he thinks you should use Bag of Tricks.
No, it just slows Setsuki's damage output so much. It's great end game, but anything else, I wouldn't use it.
So your choice to Jack would have been better for here, because both hit, but as a result, now he's not going to have a hand.
Yeah, he's going to end up with Jack or Ace Ace, either one being quite bad, really. I would go for the Ace Ace here just for the damage, and Jack is a good starter.
Well, not only that, but he knows that Ace Ace is in his hand, whereas the Jack is a hidden card.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Argagarg's fishing those aces.
Oh, but it gets a monster draw of 7th row. That's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's really dangerous, that.
I wouldn't even think about it. I just immediately 7th row.
That's pretty much his only viable option there.
Yep.
And it works anyway. So that's a lot of damage there, 23 damage. It's going to put Arg on 6. So see if Arg can bring it back, because if he gets a bubble shield up, then it's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Arg can still come back. It just has to win, 2 or 3 combats in a row.
With one of those being an ace block.
The problem, though, is that's really tricky to do. Oh, but just a throw.
Yeah, and Setsuki was really aware of that. She knew that he fished one ace at the start and fished one just now. So he knows he's got the other one, and that's his only way to win, really. All right, so
okay.
Setsuki's won there. Hey, welcome back, Blinky.
Hey.
So how did you find that game?
I found that he attacked more than I was expecting, which kind of caught me off quite a few times. But then, as soon as I thought, I kind of saw that he was attacking, he then started throwing. So I was a bit too late on responding.
Yeah, he really did switch up his game a lot there. Certainly in the first game, he was just like constant aggression. And myself and Viva were just commenting on how much he was actually doing that. So it was really good to see him switch it up towards, in that final game. And it really clinched it.
Yeah, right at the end, I was hoping the blowfish spikes would stop him from, doing much. But he ended up just throwing it anyway. I figured that he'd probably go for a dodge or something.
Yeah, he showed no fear at that point. He just sort of ignored that you had it.
Yeah, that pretty much sealed, I think, because that took away one of my aces and then lost a lot of my position.
So what would you do differently if you were to play the match again?
I think in terms of options that I chose the right options. I just didn't choose them at the right time. I think I was a bit too slow recognizing that he had actually changed and wasn't just trying to throw me off a little bit.
So I'm fishing a little bit. What do you think about this matchup? Do you think Sets has an advantage here, or do you think it's mainly even?
I think it's a slight advantage, nothing major. Probably 5.5 to Sets.
Okay, I think I agree with you. I don't know. It seems very hard for Argagarg because he has to guess right so many times, and he has to make the exact read of what she's going to do.
Arg does have you can slow the game down quite a bit, which is quite useful for him. He likes it. He likes it when the game slows down. But only doing like 15 damage roughly per hit isn't exactly killing her very quickly.
Yeah, and Sets is so explosive with her damage. She can do 30 damage no problem if she's got ace ace. Just emptying her hand and then just going into another full hand combo.
Yeah, it's quite easy for her to do like 10 damage more than Arg per hit, which really does hurt. So any draws that Arg can take is actually quite beneficial, and also any way of slowing down like Jokers or 7 ability Bubble Shield, because I think the main thing about Bubble Shield in this match is that it's not so much the free damage, it's just how much it slows Sets down.
Yeah, because one Bubble Shield equals 2 combats that she has to win to do damage.
Pretty much, yeah.
Plus, you also have the mental advantage as well when you got it up, because Setsuki's panic a lot, and you can really get into the head of whoever's playing.
Well, I think I got up about 3 times during the games, I think. Maybe slightly more. The first time you got off straight away, I was expecting a dodge or something. After that, I started blocking and dodging more, and that sorted out a few turns.
Yeah, it's just a real shame we can't actually talk to Fivec here to get his side of the story. Viva, have you got any comments on the game?
I think Fivec had a few nerve problems to start off. I think he was just a little bit nervous, and he made a couple of mistakes. But then in the last part of the second game and in the third game, I think he played really well.
Yeah,
and
it seemed like he regained composure a bit, and he really started getting those mix-ups well. And he entered his hand quite a few times, and he got the damage in.
And if Blinky can't predict what you're going to do, the Argagarg will just fall over, in my opinion. The Argagarg has to make reads, or else he's doomed, in my opinion.
Yeah, Suki has much better advantage in terms of getting the reads in, because one of her options will cover two of mine, so I have to make sure that my one option is that one that beats.
Exactly, it's painful.
He's a very Yomi dependent character, much like De Grey is.
Well,
Yeah.
normally I think Argagarg is more evaluative. I think normally what you're trying to do is you're trying to play the option that does the least damage to you. Basically, if you're going to lose combat, you're going to lose the least hard. But with Setsuki, she always has all of her options open, and they always do tons of damage, and so that part of Argagarg doesn't really come into play.
Yeah, go on.
This matchup, pretty much that you can't evaluate much at all, so it really does come down to good predictions, really.
Yeah, it's amazing, after we say so much about how strong Setsuki is in this matchup, that it still ends up at 5.5 or so. It just really shows how strong Bubble Shield is, and how essential it is in the matchup.
Well, Hex is also just amazing. I mean, if you consider that, in this game I'm down to 35 card deck, which means that that's at least 10 turns, at least, of free Hex. That's 20 damage.
Yeah, I guess Setsuki can't really afford to. I think maybe my problem with this, my approach to this matchup is that I dodge too much, and dodge block just sort of wastes time and hurts me.
Yeah, when you tie on blocks or dodges, Setsuki loses on it. Especially if Araga's got Bubble Shield up.
Yeah, it's just really painful. And so I think maybe if I were to play this matchup again, I would just go more attacks and throws, just trying to end the game quickly. I think that seems to help the Setsuki player a lot. Yeah,
so looking at Fivec's approach in the best of three, it was actually it was quite well thought out, I think. Being very aggressive at the start and then switching up once he's got the read.
Well,
Fivec says that he made only one block that entire game and that it hurt.
Yeah, I think that was one block too many.
Well, Setsuki very rarely is in a position where she needs to block against any character. Arg is just no point in blocking at all. Additional chance of getting chip damage, which is even more damage. She doesn't really need the extra cards, and she could just always try to go for a dodge anyway, which will have a big payoff.
Yeah, dodge is definitely the way to go for sets. The only time you ever block is to do a super mind game.
Midori's actually someone you would block against as well, to be fair. Or if you're knocked down, but Setsuki normally has a way of getting up from that anyway.
Okay, so do any of our listeners have any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask.
Fivec says that it's okay to block when your hand is terrible and you're really expecting an attack. And I think I kind of agree.
True. It's always better to win combat than to not win combat, for obvious reasons.
Just basically avoid damage.
The time when he blocked, as opposed to dodging, his best dodge option was just a 6 attack, which is, horrible. And it would have left him with a really bad hand because he wouldn't have 2 pairs anymore. So I think it was actually probably correct to block there.
Fair enough.
Assuming that you thought he was going to attack. I mean, otherwise you probably attack or something.